Okay, welcome everybody. This is my tarot tarot astrological reading for you guys. Um, this here is a setup of the new moon tomorrow, 12/23, where we have the sun and moon at 1 degree Capricorn. And so what I did was I placed all the planets and other celestial bodies along with their signs. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. Where do we start? Okay, let's start with the sun and moon. 1 degree Capricorn. And I went ahead and I did the clarifications already, just because, I run out of time a lot of times. So I just want to make sure I have everything. So we have the Ace of Swords. Okay. So this is an earth energy. It's a grounding energy. It's one where you are seeking some kind of balance or rectification from your surrounding energies. So I like to look at it like as above, so below. The grounding earth energies are trying to replicate what is already established in the heavens and to bring it down onto earth. And so here we are at the 1st degree of Capricorn. And so this is a magician energy. It's an energy where you can be creative. It's an energy where you find your tools, where you find your craft, or you find your skill set, and you master it. This is a mastery symbol. It speaks about things that are hidden, things that are unknown. These are things that lay within you as well, not just without. So going within and finding your true creativity is a part of these earth energies here. It does speak about secrets. It speaks about truths, but it could be truths as a realization. But it could be external truths as well. Things could be revealed externally, because it's an earth. It's a physical energy. It's not spiritual or untangible. It is, a lot of times it is a tangible energy. It's just, about finding your purpose. You can find your purpose with this energy. I don't always look at the magician energy as, one having a divine union. I do look at it as the divine exposing your gifts to you, but whether you acknowledge the divine is not always necessary with the magician energy. And so you have to go higher up in the levels to reach that, which is your ultimate goal. But this is a starting place. It's a starting place to find your inner self, your inner talents, and your soul's worth. Okay, so I pulled a couple cards, and I got Neith and Mescanet. And so we see that Neith is reversed, and I do take reversals into consideration. I don't take it as a complete negative, but I do look at it, as like a door's closed, or something is inaccessible at the moment. Mescanet speaks about birthing something, a materialization of something. She also speaks about time, and basically looking to the stars to see what are the energies above. And so I take that to mean, just being mindful of the other energies during this new moon. A lot of people are like, oh, it's the new moon. Let's do our rituals, and but some of these new moons, it's best just to sit down somewhere. It is the darkness of the moon, so meditation and contemplation is the best at this time. Neith is the weaver. She puts all the pieces together, and she's a great time to connect, to network, and just to fill those missing pieces in your life. It is in a reversal, so it could speak about maybe a harsh aspect that could restrict these connections, these communications. So if you're waiting to hear from someone, it may not happen. You yourself may not feel like reaching out to someone at this time. You don't feel inclined. And that could be the energy of this 1 degree Capricorn, because you do have extreme power to reach within at this time. So maybe interference isn't necessarily the best thing at this moon. This is a Venusian energy. Venus deals with your values, things that you value. Deals with your home. It deals with those personal energies that you want to gravitate to, that you seek and you yearn and you need. These are things that you need in your life, or you feel that you need. And so, need this asking that you contemplate on those things right now. Maybe not necessarily, reach out. Maybe now is not necessarily the best time to reach out. But again, we have to look at the other energies. I did want to clarify that, and I got Kemti. And so Kemti is chaos. It's a chaotic magician. And so maybe there's a magician who maybe he doesn't know his worth. Maybe he's still finding his gifts. Maybe his gifts are not more so towards the positive. It could be dark magic that this magician is using. So, I would be mindful of that, and people, protect your energies at this time. Reserve your energies at this time, just especially because of this reversal here. But it does speak about chaos. Chaos for rebirth. So, no one can really do you anything. Nobody can really do you anything, because once they hit you low, the only thing you can do is bounce back up. The lowest blow you can get, your only option is to bounce back up. And so it's chaos for rebirth. Okay? So let them try what they want. It'll come out in secret. The truth will be known. And you will see your true potential, because it's not until you're truly tested that you can understand your true capabilities. So a lot of people will find their true strengths in this moon. But again, just be mindful. There is a bit of chaos in there. I did see Psyche in the North Node, and the South Node and Uranus are in opposition right now. And so Psyche's over here in Scorpio at 12 degrees. Okay, so that's going to give us this 5 of heart energy. Psyche is the soul. It's your soul urges. It's your soul's impression. It's that resonance of your soul's calling on yourself, and it's the resonance of your soul on others. It's the impression that your soul would make on another body. So there's some kind of soul, I look at it as a soul connection concerning these energies here. The South Node is here as well. The South Node is known as the dragon's tail. And so this is mostly past life energies. And it is your treasure chest. It is everything that you have collected over multiple soul experiences. And it's yours to use, and it's also yours to abuse. So know when it's useful, and know when your abilities are no longer useful or could use some kind of change based off of your experiences, based off of your new experiences. Okay, so The Five of Hearts, the Cups, Five of Cups, is an emotional energy. And it's dealing in the fives. And fives can represent sometimes chaos, just because, well, first of all, fives are what? Fives are ruled by Jupiter. This is a Jupiterian energy. So all in all, it's a blessing. It's going to be a blessing to you if it is used responsibly. But the fives are constantly looking for experiences. They are not the ones who learn through example. They have to learn through firsthand experience. And so they're constantly trying things, they're constantly changing things, they're constantly changing places. So Five of Hearts constantly changes hearts. They have a lot, an abundance of love to give, and it is equally received. And so it speaks about this being a capability in the past life, and how we're going to transform that energy going forward is the responsibility of the Five of Hearts in the South Node. It also speaks about not only, the love of the heart, but things that you're passionate about. Okay? So things that you love, maybe there's an overindulgence in the things that you love, activities that you do. Maybe there's some kind of, separation or boundary that you create knowingly or unknowingly because of this abundance of love for these activities. So it's just about taking a second look at some of these things, some of your inclinations, and making that adjustments going forward. When I pulled the cards, I got Off Neteru and I got Neta Neteru. And so Neta Neteru in the traditional deck would most likely be the Fool. And so it speaks about anything being possible, a world of possibilities. And so it's also new beginnings as well. I look at it as a positive card. That's just been my experience. I don't normally get this card and, see negative energies. But it is reversed. And so, that is telling me that this world of possibilities may have some adverse energies that will affect it. Not that the door is completely closed, but there's going to be some level of responsibility to activate that. And then Nephis here, this is more of a, divine masculine energy here. And it's speaking about help. And it's speaking about a type of transformation and a preparation for a new phase in your life. So there's a preparation for a new phase in your life, and this is something that you have access to. This is something that you need to tap into to transform into your North Node. And the North Node is asking you to live your soul's destiny. The North Node is asking you to project your soul forward into new experiences that will elevate your soul. And so the North Node right now is at 12 degrees Taurus. So now this is Earth energy. And I don't know if I discussed the water energy over here as well with the cups and Scorpio. So Scorpio, just to backtrack, is going to talk about, joint finances. It's going to talk, it's ruled by Pluto. So it's going to talk about things of power, things of investigation, a love of power, a love of investigation, joint finances. It rules taxes, it rules inheritance. So things of those nature could come up. This could be past life issues that are affecting the present. And we have to learn how to balance that and deal with those energies. So in the present, we have the Five of Swords. And so again, we have that 5 energy, and it's asking you to be responsible with the abundance that you are going to get. So this is now an abundance of wealth, of material wealth. This is an abundance of material wealth, or maybe a grasping for it. It is a love of the physical. It is an abundance of the physical. So you could have wealth here. This could be a card of wealth, physical wealth, material wealth. And it can be displayed. This person could be flashy. It can be displayed outwardly. The 5 of Spades likes nice things. They like nice houses. They like nice clothes. They like things of abundance. And it's asking you to pull yourself in and to reflect on those things and maybe take it up to a higher level. But your social circle is definitely ruled, birds of a feather, with the 5 of Spades. And so when I pulled some cards, I got Septet and I got Bennu. And Septet, give me 1 second because I think she was reversed, but I'll read it both ways. So Septet, and Uranus is here. So Uranus is talking about unexpected change. Uranus is cosmic energy rather than focusing on the earth. The good for greater man, the good for the greater good of the universe, of the soul. Okay, it's not really dealing with that 80-year lifespan that we have on earth. This is soul connections. These are cosmic connections that Uranus is dealing with, and it's asking us to be mindful of the greater collective right now with this position here. Okay, it's asking us to let go of these earthly passions that we love and that power that we need for that, and to transform it to a more cosmic now outlook. Okay, so the 5 of Spades is here, and Septet is the star Sirius. Septet is a revelation, and so this is an Aquarian energy which matches Uranus. And so she's speaking about a revelation. There's going to be some kind of revelation for our soul's growth that we can get under this alignment, under these star alignments at this time. And again, this was for the new moon. So a revelation. There's some kind of revelation that is due to you with the combination of these energies here. We also know that Aquarius is dealing with your friends, your associates, your hopes, your wishes. It also is the house of astrology. And so we know it'll have something to do with those areas of your life. Again, asking you to move forward with those. Bennu is here, and this is another Venetian energy, so it's talking about your values, but Bennu is freedom. It speaks about being free as a bird. And so we could read this possibly as finding some kind of freedom from your friends and your associates, or some kind of need of freedom from them, or friends and associates that give you some kind of freedom. Bennu is the phoenix. It's the bird that rises from the ashes. So you are probably feeling like you are at a low point, and so it's speaking about the darkness before the dawn. The dawn is destined. The dawn is sure to come, is what you get from this card. And it's sure, and it ensures that you are rising to a higher level on the other side of this energy. Okay? So rising to a higher level concerning your friendships and your associates, maybe finding friendships on a more soul level, maybe finding your soul family is what this could be talking about. And just that cosmic relationship, that cosmic fire raining down to take you to a higher level, or the realization that you are cosmic, the realization that you are greater than just who you have become on this earth, or who you see in the mirror. You now see yourself as greater than. You now see yourself as part of a collection, as part of a cosmic family. That's something you could see, and then that would be your aspirations rather than material aspirations. Maybe now there is a turn, preparing for a new phase in your life, and a turn to have more cosmic relationships or cosmic outlook on life. Okay, so that's what I got for the North Node in Uranus. Mars is here, and for Mars I got the 8 of Diamonds. And so this is kind of a money card. This is a card that it's a divine masculine. I look at this card as a divine masculine card, and I look at it as the divine masculine going within and examining their values, examining their self-worth, and from that examination they go outward. And since this is coins, this is the 8 of coins, we know that this is Gemini. Okay, and Gemini is an air sign. It's ruled by air. And so we know that Mars is dealing with thoughts right now, or the projecting of thoughts, how you think about people, how you think about yourself. So thoughts, it's not necessarily things that are happening in the physical. But in the physical, it could be air, it could be digital. Like you could be doing digital transactions at this time. A lot of that online shopping is definitely 8 of coins energy. So that's where your energies are going. They're more mental energies. And so when I asked for clarification of what was going on with Mars, I got Renanet and I got Amsu. And Renanet is a money card, but you see she's reversed. And so, that tells me that maybe, and first of all, Renanet is speaking about your health. It speaks about a rejuvenation that is needed. And it does speak about an abundance of money and an incoming of wealth. And so maybe money right now is something that you need to be mindful of. Money and health is something that you need to be mindful of. The nourishment that you're putting into your body is something that you would need to be mindful of at this time, than just to take precautions. This is a High Priestess card, and so it would be speaking specifically, not specifically, or by gender, but by association, vibration, to the High Priestess energy, to take care of your body and to be mindful of your monetary comings and goings at this time, because Mars is retrograding right now, and retrogrades are not necessarily the time to make those huge decisions. It's more of a time of contemplation for decisions that you have made in the past. And I'll get back to you guys when Mars went retrograde. I think it was maybe July or August, but I'll get back to you on that. So we have the High Priestess here, and then we have an Empress here. Now, I never really put these two cards together until today, but Amsu is a god. Amsu is a divine masculine god, okay? he's a masculine god, as we can see, but he's a god who's in Empress energy. And so that tells me he's a god that is going to attract, magnify energy to him. Okay? So the story here between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And it looks as though the divine masculine has his attention and is looking to the high priestess energy. But the high priestess, it looks like the door is closed. It looks like the door is closed. And so he is looking in her direction, but she's looking the opposite way. Now, if she weren't looking the opposite way and they're together, she would be pouring into him, and he pouring into her. So, you know, all is well in this position, but once we turn it this way, now we know that this Martian energy has now caused a conflict. There's some conflict going on between the divine masculine and the divine feminine concerning Martian energy, concerning sex, concerning war, concerning some type of exacerbation of energy. Okay? It is in Gemini. So Mars in Gemini is harsh communication. This could be some kind of harsh communication that took place to reverse this card and this energy. It could have been about money or some value, some great value that someone wanted to exude, to communicate at this time. And, you know, he's looking at her feet, at her calf. This could be Pisces. This could be Aquarius energy here. But regardless, this Mars energy is creating some kind of conflict between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And this is a divine masculine that attracts. And so the story of Amsu is, you know, he's a god. He's a divine masculine god. And the story goes that all the men in the town were going to war, and so they left Amsu under their wives under the protection of Amsu. And so when the men came back, all the women were pregnant. Okay? Now, they didn't all come back, mind you. A lot of them died. And so the story goes that Amsu was really he was really praised in the end because he created a new generation of demigods that could help fight the war. And the war is, you know, always between the dark and the light. Okay? But that's the story of Amsu. So the energy is of procreation. It's a very fertile energy. It speaks about children, and it speaks about procreation, and it does speak about being in the care of this fertile energy. Okay, so that's the story behind Mars. Right now, I'm gonna do a spread in it probably over the weekend and see where the energies are at that time. But there's a disconnect here between the divine masculine and feminine concerning Mars. We can go to Venus, and for Venus I pulled the Two of Swords. And so the Two of Swords is a good card. I do look at it as a high priestess energy. I look at it as the divine feminine being in awareness. It's kind of similar to the Five in that it's now the divine masculine's turn to go within and to take a look at her tools and how she's been operating and how she has been representing herself in the physical. It's a time for her to be more grounded, to ground herself. It's kind of like a preparation to become the Empress, because the Empress is very grounded. She's here, she's living life. But the High Priestess is in her spiritual realm. She's in her inner sanctuary, And so this is kind of asking the high priestess to come down and take a look at herself. And so when she comes down and takes a look at herself as the high priestess energy, sometimes there's fear. And there's a lot of fear of being alone with the two energies. The high priestess energy has a fear of being alone, and so now there's contemplation. There's contemplation on her worth. Okay? And so Venus is over here in Capricorn, and it's asking you to address your fears, to acknowledge your fears. It also speaks about, because it is an earth sign, it's speaking now about work and working in pairs. Maybe working with friendships or working with your lover, but the work that you do in pairs by preference is also what the Two of Swords is talking about. And so when I ask for clarification, I got Sebek and I got Serket. Now, Sebek is an argumentative energy. And so again, you have the divine masculine and feminine here as well. So even within Venus, there is some kind of issue. And Venus, again, is the Empress energy. And so this is a voracious nature. It can also equal an ally, dealing with the partnerships here. It can also equal an ally, but it's something of a voracious nature, something that needs to be checked for the querent's well-being. It's not a positive energy when I get Sebek. The High Priestess is here too, as well, and the Earth energy is here. So these two are matching. We have 2-2, we have Earth, okay? And so it talks about some kind of voracious nature. It does have a reptilian here, so this is kind of some voracious, some kind of cold nature. Do alligators cry? Some kind of falseness. Some kind of falseness within a representation. But then there is also a contemplation of life. So the High Priestess is contemplating her physical being, her partnerships, and her friendships right now. She's trying to figure out what's fake, and she's trying to figure out what's real. Well, actually, this is the divine masculine here, but it's a High Priestess with the divine masculine energy, the opposite of Amsu. All right, we get Serket as a second clarification, and Serket speaks about a misuse of sexual energies. Okay, it's a 6, so it's a Venusian energy. It speaks about a decision that needs to be made concerning the use of your sexual energies. Do you want to partnership with someone? Do you want to partnership with the divine masculine that's masking himself? Is that even what you want to do? So there's a lot of contemplation over here in the Serket energy. This could also speak about, this could speak about a divine feminine making a decision just because she is there. A lot of times it's the divine masculine that's making the decision between the two empresses, between the two interests, the two love lives on the side, because the traditional has the man in the middle and the two women on the side. But Serket has the woman who's seated on her throne. And so this is now a divine feminine that is being asked to make a decision. And the decision is in her mind, okay, because this is Neph energy. And so that's air. And so it could be telling us, because Venus is now in Capricorn, and so that's on earth sign. The next air sign is going to be Aquarius. So there could be a decision made once Venus enters Aquarius That's a possibility, just because it is an air sign and you're thinking right now. It's asking you to think right now, or to ask when your thoughts are clearer, or to make the decision when your thoughts are clearer about who you're going to work with, and if you want these kind of energies in cooperation. A voracious nature and an empress that needs to make a decision. Maybe the decision doesn't need to be made right now, but there's a decision that needs to be made, and there's a decision that's on your mind. Okay? Chiron. Chiron is over here in the fire energy. There is a fiery empress. There's an empress who's trying to bring down the divine spark. But again, there's a fear. There is a fear of realization, a fear of some kind of communication. Maybe there's a conversation that needs to be had. Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay, and so this is an energy of a lifelong lesson, something you have contemplated on, the oh, why God, how has this happened to me type of energy. Why am I the one? And there comes a day when you realize that even though it was painful, even though you went through that experience, you see where you fit, in that you can transfer that pain to some kind of learning energy for others. You can teach others how to grow or to get beyond the point of pain that has plagued you in your life. And so this speaks about, again, a fear of being alone. So the high priestess energy is, in conversation with self, is admitting to herself the choices that she has made could possibly have been due to a fear of being alone, or a fear of not being enough. And so that internal fire that she would need, that internal fire that you need to glow, to burn, to exist in this world, is being looked at. And so, Mescanet is here. And again, she's speaking about the timing of things. And so looking at the energies that are going on. And Chiron is, let me my cheat sheet. Chiron must be in Taurus too. Chiron is in Aries. Oh, fire, of course. So Chiron is in Aries, and that's why we have the fire sign here. So the head, Aries rules the head. Again, these could be thoughts. It could be that divine spark coming down that brings you to that awareness of self. Okay, but it could, an internal conversation is what it could be. Neph is the air. And so again, these are thoughts that this high priestess is thinking to better herself, to make herself more aware so that she can give her gifts. But again, that is dealing with the fears that she has. This is Empress energy. And so, it's more about attracting things to you, attracting your passions, being attractive. Maybe again in that preparation phase for the Empress, you are recognizing that divine spark in you, and your solar plexus is now rising. It's the central focus in this card. It's your solar plexus. Okay. And so again, it's that attracting energy that the high priestess is trying to bring. And Hehu speaks about time, transforming time limitations. Hehu transforming time limitations. Yes. And so it's just again a time to contemplate, a time to transform that pain, that low self-esteem into self-love, that helps and heals others. Pluto and Mercury. Pluto and Mercury are in the high degrees of Capricorn. And so we got the Three of Swords. And this is pain. Pain on 3 levels. Pain and heartache is how I look at the Three of Swords. Okay? We know we have Pluto here, and you know, there's a great, I kind of look at this divine masculine energy. I kind of look at it like emperor energy. Pluto, definitely king energy, but I do look at it as emperor energy. And so this is the ultimate divine masculine. Like, this is a man that's going to take charge. He wants to be a ruler. He wants to be a leader. He wants power. He wants truth. He wants wisdom. And it's sitting next to Mercury, which is communication. And so Mercury is going to do Pluto's bidding at this time. But Pluto is not necessarily the softest of energies. It's actually a very harsh energy. But it's asking the divine feminine to take a look at her worth in the physical. It's asking her to take a look at her worth and any kind of disillusionment within. Okay? It is like the divine feminine acknowledging the high priestess within her, but sensing an imbalance. Okay? Because this is an odd number. So odds are always going to talk about an imbalance. An imbalance is something. So this is kind of strictly divine feminine energy. And when I asked for clarification, I got Mayat, which is truth and justice, from raining down from the heavens. And I got Nebetet, and she is the Lady of Sorrows. Okay? Within divine masculine energy. Okay? So she's the lady of the house that is full of sorrows. And it's speaking about some kind of justice that she will get under this energy. The justice could come through her finances and her wealth, material wealth. It could come through some kind of communication. But it's the energy of drying your tears. So the pain has been acknowledged, and it's more of how do we go forward? How do we go from a 3 to a 4 is the energy of Pluto and Mercury. So Capricorn at 27 degrees. I'm also going to do another video on this being the United States Pluto degree, Pluto return. I'm going to do a reading on that as well. But this is redemption. The Three of Spades, the Three of Swords is redemption. Acknowledging the pain and moving forward. It's kind of, Benuish, in the sense that you can rise from the ashes with this card. So I know that there has been a problem, and I love how Nebetet came with the Three of Swords. This is a great symbolization of the Three of Swords. But it's also time to dry your tears. It's also the time to dry your tears with this. And, I think at this point the divine masculine energy would have to be reflected on. Is there some kind of divine masculine energy that this divine feminine has that is causing her this conflict? Swords are tools, they're weapons. When you think of tools and weapons, you think about men having to be protectors. Is the divine feminine crying because she's also the protector? Is that the realization that is bringing her pain? Is there a loss of the divine masculine? Some of these things are here, but there's going to be justice. And where there was justice, there was injustice. So there was some kind of injustice done under this energy, and it should be rectified under this energy. So it's a blessing in disguise. That's the kind of energy that it is. Over here we had Neptune and Juno. And so Neptune is that vastness, that vast ocean of spirituality, of spiritual wealth. It's higher consciousness. It's unconditional love. And it's over here in Pisces. And it's sitting right next to Juno. Juno is the wife. Juno is your soul. It's soulmate energy, right? Your Juno contacts are undeniable. And so unconditional love for the wife is what it's speaking about. And we got the 9 of Hearts under this energy with these two combinations. And so this is kind of, you know, just that absolute kind of like a wish fulfillment, like love on the next level. It's that next level love. It's love for a higher purpose, love, unconditional love. And it's a card of blessings, you know, where the 9 of Swords asks you to step it up concerning your material. This is asking you to step it up concerning your emotional responsibilities. Love on a higher level, love that is no longer selfish. It's a love that connects you to the divine. That is what the 9 of Hearts is. It is no longer this childish, I like you, you know, boy meets girl type of energy. It's more of a, I see God in you. You see God in me. I see my divinity in you. You see your divinity in me. That is the energy of the 9 of Hearts. All right. And when I asked for clarification, I got Mut, the loving mother, and I got Bastet, the goddess of the hearth, the goddess of children, the goddess of the home. Okay, she keeps your home warm. Okay, now this is High Priestess energy. Okay, so this is High Priestess again transforming into Empress, and she has her scepter, she has her tools, she has her spiritual guide, her spiritual guardian in her home. Okay, and it speaks about this unconditional love that either she is exuding or is given to her. Sixes, again, I always look at sixes as some kind of decision to be made. So maybe there is a decision to be made for this High Priestess energy. And when I say High Priestess energy, I'm speaking about a woman or a person who who contemplates, who sees things on multiple levels, not just through her eye, but through her third eye. A lot of times they're energy readers, a lot of times they're psychics, you know, but people who go with the energy of things. It is scientific too. There's, you know, scientific nature as well. So of course the High Priestess is scientific. But there's just that divine spark somewhere in there that is for all to see. Okay? And so she could be making some kind of decision, or there's a decision being asked of her, or maybe there is more unconditional love that she will need to express to take it to the next level. All right, so unconditional love is talking to the wife, is talking to the soulmate, and it's asking you to step it up and take it to that next level, to take this opportunity of Juno being next to Neptune and to seek that higher love. I always, you know, like to say, if there's a higher love, then there's a lower love. And so it's contemplation of which love are you in right now. Are you in your lower love, or are you in your higher love? And your higher love is something that would give you unconditional love. This is someone you love regardless. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's not if you bring home the money. It's not if you dress a certain way. It's not if you look a certain way. It's I love you, full stop, period. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to accept negative behaviors or negative energies, but the love will always be there. That unconditional love, that love that you can only think is divine, that you know the Most High God loves you in that way. It's something that is a reflection of some inner knowing that you have, that the love that you've been receiving wasn't it. It wasn't it, and it's not enough. And once you get it, you know your divine place. You know your place in the spiritual world that we live in. Okay? So I thought this was beautiful. I thought this was a beautiful realization, this Neptune and Juno combination. And so we need to take advantage of that and just, really go within and see what is going on. Eros. Like I said, I think I mentioned that I always watch Eros and Psyche. These are the soulmates. These are the twin soul lovers, the twin flame lovers. And, they're not at the same degree. I don't even believe they're touching right now. There was an aspect where they were conjunct. I believe it was last month, and I realized that late, so I didn't do a reading on it. But I'll go back and I'll give you that day, so that you guys can see what you were doing that day, who you were talking to, what communications you made, because I have some stories about that day, but that's for another story. So since then, I've been tracking Eros and Psyche. And so Eros is over here, and Eros is the god of love. Psyche is the soul. Venus, the story goes, Venus or Hera is the mother of Eros. Psyche was a beautiful maiden that all the men were falling in love with. Venus was like, she's not all that. Y'all need to stop it. Eros, she's gonna go crazy when she see you. Go make a fool of her, right? So she sends her son. So Eros goes down to Psyche, and lo and behold, he falls in love. He falls in love with Psyche, okay? So he takes her, he hides her from his mother, and he just has a beautiful, put her in an island of clouds and just loved her up to himself for, eons. These are gods. I don't know how long he had her up there for. But eventually, I think somehow she was able to communicate with her sisters. I think Psyche was somehow able to communicate with her sisters. And the deal with Eros was like, I'm going to love you, the best love ever of all time, but you can't look at me. Because if you look at me, you know who I am, and then mama going to find out. It's just going to be drama, right? So he's like, don't look at me. Trust me. If you love me like I love you, you'll trust me. I'll never hurt you. So she started listening to her sisters. And they're like, you ain't never seen him? What? You ain't never seen? Nah, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with this dude. Like, go make sure you see him. So Psyche's like, all right. So next time Eros rolls up on her, she takes the covers off of him or moves a cloud or something. I don't know what she did. And she sees him. And so he goes into a panic and he disappears. And so that starts Psyche's trials to reunite with Eros. And that's pretty much the trial of the twin flame, the twin soul, is to reconnect with that which you once loved, with your highest love. Okay? And so last month, they were at the same degree, maybe in Libra. I think in Libra, they were at the same degree. And so Libra is marriage and communication. But like I said, I'm going to do something on that. So anyways, Eros is over here in the Seven of Pentacles. energy. The Seven of Scepters. Sorry, I'm all over the place with this tarot. There's so many systems. Okay, so the Seven of Scepters is over here. So this is a fire sign. And, you know, the sevens, I look at the sevens as the unification of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So I look at it as a beautiful energy on the higher aspect of it. How it, you know, relates and draws down is another story. So this is fire again. And so Seven of Fires, to me, divine fire, it's the Chariot. It is it's like your calling. It is your calling that is here. It is that divine knowledge that you can only get from above and draw down. And that's how I look at fire signs. Like they have one of the purest connections to the divine, just access to it. That spiritual fire that burns, it just culminates and brings down this higher energy. But with the sevens, it can bring about, you know, a lot of doubt and worry. And so, you know, this card told me that Eros, or the divine masculine energy right now, is in a state of worry. They're in a state of worry about the divine feminine. They're in a state of worry about their alignment with the spiritual. They're being asked to jump on that chariot. They're being asked to get ready and to prepare to receive these divine messages so that they can live their divine destiny here on earth and beyond. Okay? But they're a little worried right now about this challenge and about jumping on this ship. All right? It is asking to go to the next level, because at the stage of 6, you had a decision to make. So you made this decision once you get to the 7. You made a decision. You did something that told the Most High God that you were ready for more. He wouldn't have sent his chariot. Okay? And so now you're worried. And now you have to walk the walk. And so when I pulled the cards, I got Shutef Newt and I got Newt. And so this kind of tells me hesitation, because the spirit guides are always there for you. Right? Ask and ye shall receive. You shall receive. This is Sagittarian energy. This is also a high priestess. And so this is that helping hand. There was a guiding hand that was helping this divine masculine energy. Well, actually, divine masculine because of Eros, but divine masculine, divine feminine both because of the number 7. And so there must be some kind of issue. There is something going on with this helping hand, with this higher knowledge that was being sought, and the union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So there's a lot of worry right now, but if that hand was held, then maybe there would be unity. Maybe the divine masculine and the divine feminine could jump on their chariot and live their destined lives. But for whatever reason right now in Sagittarius, they're feeling worried. It doesn't look like independently worried. I mean, because Shutef Nut is a harmonious energy. That's when the divine masculine and divine feminine are together, but it's Sagittarius energy too, so maybe they are apart. Maybe there is some distance between the divine feminine and divine masculine, and maybe that's what the worry is. Maybe there's a distance between them. But he's concerned. The divine masculine is concerned right now. And the divine feminine and Psyche is thinking about the past. She's thinking about the past life. And it's time for her to go forward and to create bonds on earth, physical bonds, to get out of her mind and to start creating what needs to be created, because it's time to jump on this ship. Okay? 2 more and then we're done. I did not do series. I'll be back for series. Don't let me forget. Jupiter is here, and Jupiter is squaring the moon and the sun. Okay, I don't know if this is better for you to see it, but Jupiter is squaring the moon and the sun. Okay, we have a magician over here getting all the blessings. We have a magician over here exploring his tools. He is figuring out right now what his destiny is. That is the access of this degree. That is the access of the Ace of Scepters. You are in divine communication with the Most High God, and you are trying to figure out what your tool is. You are trying to figure out what your soul's purpose is right now. And Jupiter is here to give you many options and many blessings and abundance. Okay? But it is squaring the new moon. So the energies that you want to pull down, so you're over here in Jupiter ready to pull down these blessings from the heavens, but it's difficult to see what those blessings are when you're also trying to pull it down into the material. So these two energies are simultaneous. At the same time, you're trying to pull down the physical and you're trying to pull down the spiritual. And so it gets complicated because those are two different spaces. Like, see me with my candles lit. This is me pulling down my spiritual. When I pull down my physical, I got to get my shoes on, So how do you take this energy with you is going to be the challenge at this time. How do you take this fire, the spiritual fire that you're bringing down with all of these blessings of Jupiter, this abundance of blessings? It's like you can go anywhere and do anything right now with this Ace of Scepters energy, with this magician and fire energy. You can do it all right now. You're the ultimate salesman right now. You could sell, what is that? An Eskimo ice right now. That's what you can do with this Jupiter energy. But at the same time, you got to produce that ton of ice at the same time. It's not just about talking. It's not just about understanding. It's not just about contemplating. There's action as well. So you're going to have to do both at the same time. Now, when I clarified it, I got Tahuti. And so this is a moon. This is a moon god. All right. So this is dealing with internal. These are internal energies that you have to tap into. It's the unseen. It's your shadow self. Okay. So going within, going to that other side of you, understanding that side, and writing. Tahuti's also a writer. This is fire. So, writing about something you're passionate about. Writing about something that nobody knows you're passionate about, but it's something you've always been passionate about. Okay? It's your hidden passions. 5 is here. Again, I said 5 is blessings. It's Jupiter. And it's abundance. So you have abundance of ability, abundance of wealth that no one knows about, that they have not seen. And it's time to contemplate those things. It's time to bring those things down. We have Shesmu 42 here. And so this is a judgment card. So judgment for me is asking for an ascension. Judging yourself, seeing where you are, and knowing you need to take it to the next level. It is reversed here, and judgment, and Shesmu 42 is another card that speaks about health as well. I look at people's health when I see Shesmu 42. And so be mindful of your health while you're trying to bring down these energies, while you're tapping into your shadow side. Just being mindful of your nutrition and your health at this time while you're doing this, because honestly, when I get really deep into my spiritual studies, I don't really have to eat, people. I do not really have to eat. I can forget to eat. If it wasn't for my children asking me when's dinner, I don't have to eat. You can get so deep into this world that the physical doesn't really, mind you so much. So again, bringing down this energy, this productive energy, this energy that you can transmit, um, I want to say sales or selling yourself, but promotion. It's a good time to promote yourself under this energy. Okay, so that's what I have for Jupiter. And there's a lot of energy in the public. This is all in the public sector of the chart. All right, so these are things that are going to come out. Like, people are going to see these things. It's not secret. Saturn is over here with the Six of Diamonds. And so to me, this is, of course, there's divine masculine energy, but it's divine masculine that has the reflection. And it's divine feminine energy that a little self-centered, a little, it's not so much reflection, it's more look at me type energy. And so the divine feminine is looking at her wealth, looking at her possessions, and she's contemplating on it as well. And so is the divine masculine, but it can be it's karma with money. The Six of Diamonds is karmic money. Maybe some kind of karmic debt that you have to pay. You owe someone from a previous life. They owe you in this life. We are dealing with Saturn energy. Saturn is a very restrictive energy, so it could be some kind of restriction of finances that are going on here. Saturn is maturity, so maybe you're being more mature with your money at this time. But there's some kind of debt to be paid. There's a realization of monetary awareness, and there needs to be an action that is taken. There needs to be a decision that is made about your outlook or your values concerning money. Sorry, I don't remember what card clarified what. I'm gonna assume this was the clarification of the clarification. So Akut, Imhotep. Imhotep is the healer. And Eight's energies is kind of like, it's a fullness. It's, pre-birth, like right before you give birth, you're in gestation mode. But this is more divine masculine energy, divine masculine reflecting on his values. Maybe he himself is a healer. Maybe this divine masculine is trying to start some kind of new beginning as a man of reputation, as a reputable person. I mean, he has his scroll in his lap, he has his tools, he has his medicine, and he wants to start new, but he's contemplating on some things. There's a door that is closed to this being a new beginning. And so, of course, I asked for clarification, and I got Gebnut Shu. And so Gebnut Shu, again, is a decision that needs to be made. A decision that the divine masculine needs to make. It also speaks about separation. And so polarity is doing opposite things right now. So there's some kind of hesitation that is making the divine masculine not start his new projects. And it could have something to do with separation from the divine feminine. Some kind of karma between him and the divine feminine. an inaccessibility of doing some kind of magic. Maybe the divine masculine is not able to do some kind of magic and it's keeping them separated. But again, this is karmic money. Maybe there's health. Maybe the health of the divine masculine is affecting his new beginnings. Maybe there's a lifestyle change that the divine masculine needs to reflect on. He needs to birth himself into someone that is more healthy for this card to go. And again, actually, if I really think about it, this card upright is separation, and so when it's reversed, it's going to tell me the same thing. It's still a separation, but there's a way to access this separation or to stop the separation, and it has something to do with his health. It has something to do with the health and wellness of the divine masculine. Maybe his money is being used for things that are not healthy, and there has to be some kind of monetary change to rectify these reversals. There's some kind of monetary change that the divine masculine has to take to get these. And so my new cards are in. I just got my new ones, and Asar came up. I got my dice. Oh, I put it away. I'll show you guys next time. But this is a Asar, and so the cards are so much more sturdier. You see how they made the border more white, and they're just great. You shuffle them, they are just so sturdy. And so they actually come with dice. I lost my old dice, and so I just got this new one. So it came with dice, and I pulled and I rolled the dice, and this was the card I got. So this is my personal energies of today. And Asar speaks about that Neptunian energy, that higher spiritual energy, and he speaks about bringing that cosmic energy down. And so I was so glad when I got that, and I was going to go ahead and give this reading because I was like, okay, the Most High is with me. I'm bringing these cosmic energies down for you guys. So I hope this was helpful. I don't even know how long this took. I just was on a roll. And so again, divine masculine, you are beautiful, you are loved. Divine feminine, you are beautiful, you are loved. Don't let anybody tell you different. Seek within, seek the divine, and everything will be clear, and your path will be made for you. Okay? So I hope everyone takes care. Enjoy this new moon and these new beginnings. Just be mindful of the energies that are at play. And I will see you next time. Thank you.